Very happy and excited to share, obviously, how we are using, let's say, scalable AI to solve some of the pressing problems within pharma industry. I come from Sanofi, as who I mentioned in the introductions, and I'll take this opportunity to also talk about a little bit about the company before I can jump into straight into the machine learning topic. So Sanofi itself is a global innovative healthcare company, and with headquarters in France, and it has presence over 60 countries, and obviously it has around 39 manufacturing sites, around 13 R&D sites, and it also has a very good presence in Canada as well. I'll talk about that too. And the medicine which or the products which Sanofi has basically goes to over 130 countries. So that's truly global, and the impact it is creating is basically, think about, around millions of people across the globe. So it's a truly you know global pharmaceutical company which is making a big difference in people's life. And we are always guided by with one purpose: to chase the miracle of science. So science is at the core of the company, to improve people's life. So in terms of the growth of the company, you can think about is around 42 billions companies net sales. For example, last year 50% of that revenue comes from United States, followed by Europe, and then around 12 billions from the rest of the world. And for the rest of the world, Canada itself is contributing to that as well. So talking about Canada, obviously, we have a rich history in Canada. So this is like, the manufacturing site is around 111 years old, truly special. And then it has over 2,000 employees housed in Canada. And another thing where we feel very proud that it has the largest biomanufacturing facilities in Canada. Very good for us, and it's growing actually. That we are doing a lot of innovative stuff, and we have everything in Canada. For example, right from research and development to manufacturing to commercial operations. And then since last 3 years, we also have a dedicated AI Center of Excellence, launched in 2022. When I started that center, I was initial joiner. Now we have 150 plus people, or digital employees, who are part of the Center of Excellence. So the manufacturing site is in up North York, and the AI Center of Excellence is in the core downtown office, right? So I come from the Center of Excellence. If we talk about our company's strategy, overall strategy, and who we are actually, so we are an R&D driven company. R&D means research and development. I'm very innovative solution in the immunocytes, and we are powered by AI. So I'll talk about this topic. We have AI embedded in almost every part of the company, all in on AI. And we are committed to improve people's lives. How we can bring, or how we can understand the unmet needs of our patients, and how we can bring the Western class and first in class therapies to our patients, and then how we can deliver the compelling growth for the companies, right? So if we talk about, as I mentioned, I come from the digital functions, and digital is not a support function within Sanofi, but in fact it's a one of the org. And in fact, our our CDO basically sits in the XCOM of the company. So we are at the heart, or we are the part of a core strategy of the company. And our true ambition is to really transform the practice of medicine. And we are basically talking about 3 points as a digital ambition, and it's a very solid ambition we have. For example, how we can accelerate time from discovery to therapy for our patients. So time is more like a currency for our patients. So time is important. How we can take our therapies very much faster to our patients, and how digital can help there. How we can adopt AI at scales is not only for taking the products to the market, but also making sure that we integrate AI at every part of the company, right from the processes, from the employee experience, from the discovery side I mentioned, or from the manufacturing side, and so on. And then how we can embed innovations in the company to drive the growth. So it's not really like doing the traditional stuff, but stretching ourselves, being more like innovative companies, whether it's AI, Gen AI, agentic AI, or maybe any other new technology who are coming, because as you know, this space is regularly evolving. So how we can stay ahead in the competition or in the market, right? So we are truly innovative company as well. And the way this slide is important, the way basically we position AI within the company is around three areas. One is we call as expert AI, as probably quite clear from the name. The AI where we need the expert teams to build and deploy the solutions. It involves primarily focus on R&D side, where we need a lot of scientific knowledge, a lot of humongous amount of data, and a lot of computational power, cutting edge algorithms to solve some of the problems. The same is true in some of the commercial area as well. So this is something we call as expert AI, built by Sanofi in partnership with some external agencies as well. And this is where we hold more like a competitive advantage. The second is called as snackable AI. This is more like a decision science or decision engines, where the billions of data points and the insights at a higher level has been given in the hands of every Sanofian, where they look on those insights to make day-to-day decisions. I'll share one example from this area as well, something called as a Play app. And the last is generative AI. And of course, we are doing a lot of work around generative AI as well, as it's quite clear. And I will share. So today, my attempt would be if I can share at least three examples from each of these areas with you. While I'm sharing this example, one thing I just want to highlight, that whatever we do within Sanofi, we do it in a responsible way. So we also have a very robust responsible AI framework called as RAISE, and I will share maybe a slide or two on that as well. So the other thing which I want to mention here is the potential value where it can bring across the pharma value chain at Sanofi. Uh, I'm just thinking about the audience who are listening to this presentation. Just one slide to tell you how these things work in pharma. So pharma, as you know, is as I said, healthcare company. Here, Sanofi is a healthcare company, and so the journey really starts from R&D. This is where basically you discover any drugs and develop any drugs, and then it goes for manufacturing, and then once we manufacture, package, and then we supply it to the right places, for example, to hospitals, to clinics, etc. And then it goes for commercial aspects. We have to basically put this medicine in the hands of doctors, and doctors can prescribe, and then they can give it to the patients. And once patient basically consume it or take it, then this is where we also want to monitor any adverse side effect or positive impact, and that is called as real world data. So these are like four pieces of at a high level of farm value chain, and the AI is making impact in every areas within Sanofi, right? So just to give an example, we are using AI to accelerate the drug discovery, and because of AI, and you can think about heavy computation and deep learning algorithm, and also using generative AI, the acceleration is about tenfold faster compared to what used to be in the past. Similarly, we have like a lot of initiatives in manufacturing and supplies, how we can best optimize the yields of the plants at the plants, how we can do like predictive maintenance, staying a little bit proactive, and so on in that particular area. That also is potentially helping us to increase the plant capacity. And I will share a few examples from the commercial area, how we are building more like personalized customer or personalized solutions for our customers, how we are creating more like a best in class patient experience by leveraging a massive amount of data and AI there. and how we can basically understand markets to stay competitive in that markets. So all those use cases are basically helping us to put in the driver's seat, and we have already seen like 5 to 10% net revenue growth with the help of AI. So it's really a game changers. And the last but not the least, for the real world data set, obviously a lot of analysis needs to be done on the real world data, and with the help of AI, basically we are able to pull a lot of those insights in a faster and in a more accurate way to understand the care gaps, etc., and so on. Approaching AI at scale and how we are doing it at Sanofi. Obviously, typically we talk about this six-dimensional framework, which basically expands on people, process, and technologies. But before that, I think in terms of picking up the right problem is important. So we do ruthless prioritization of the business use case based on their impact, which they're going to deliver, and also the complexity or the feasibility, we say, uh, uh, doing the proper assessment on the feasibility side as well. So the business ideas which has high impact, high visibility, high feasibility, and which are very, basically also thinking about another dimension, which you are ready to quickly send into a market. Uh, Basically, those are the use cases we prioritize. And then I think the other piece is like not building more like a point solutions, but making sure we have the right data foundations where we can build more like a scalable solution, AI solutions. So there's a lot of efforts which has been done in the last 3 to 4 years to build the right data foundation, data assets, which are the true source of truth for all the data elements on which basically we can just apply any AI solutions on, or we can build any AI solution on top of that. The other element is the platform side. Again, we have quite a modern tech stack which we are using. We also have in-house something called as one AI platform on which we develop and deploy the solutions. The governance piece is pretty important. If we don't have a well-governed data, well-governed AI solutions, this is never going to produce more confident results. So the governance is there. And then we talk about in the process, I talk about the responsible AI. I'll share a little bit more on the responsible AI, how we are trying our best to build the AI solution in a responsible way. And then the people, and we also have strong push to have the right people solving the right problems. So basically it's a mix of skill set, not only data science. When we are working on different products, we have more like a pods where we have a combination of product owners, scrum master, data engineers, data scientists, MLOps, etc., working together to make it happen end to end. Let me start sharing with my first example, which is on expert AI. So here, as I mentioned at the start, it's more like a complex, and it's also basically a solution which we are trying to build across different, different markets, or solution which is basically we're trying to build and scale to different markets, different products, and across different business units. So one of them is here I'm just citing is, delivering the right content to the right customer, to the right channel at the right time. It's a commercial solutions. It's very much similar to a recommendation system, and the philosophy to build this is very much similar to what we normally see in our social media network. For example, the moment you start browsing your LinkedIn or Facebook or YouTube, you, based on your historical browsing history, you start getting the recommendation for the right contents for you. So here we normally look at the SCP interactions with the sales rep, and then we did basically also look at the prescription behaviors and other elements, and try to provide the next best action or the recommendations for the sales reps to reach out to the SCP. So these solutions, it's already creating over a few hundreds million euro incremental sales. So the impact is really huge. And how we are doing it, just to give you an idea, for example, is the North Star, which we normally say is obviously big, that we want to have a perfect solutions. But under the hood is the data. Is the data ready for this? Or how do we go about this? So for this particular solution, we just went into phases. So initial phase was really to understand the customers, by applying unsupervised machine learning. What are the customers which exhibit similar behavior or have a potential to grow, etc., etc. Finding those insights, and then looking at their previous interactions, and their basically, what sort of channels they have more affinity. For example, do they prefer more like face-to-face interactions, or prefer more like interaction via other digital channels like text messages, phone call, or emails, and so on. And then what is the right time of the month or the week or the day when they like to be like to be have conversation or interactions, and what are the contents which we can share when we are interacting with them. So under the hood, as I said, a lot of data elements here, and those basically define the use cases. So as I mentioned, phased approach. In the first phase, understanding the customer. Second is understanding their interaction, and the last phase is basically understanding the content. And then basically we put all together and create more like a 360 view for our customers and their the action which we can design for them. So in terms of approach, so most of our data elements are sitting something we call as data foundations, and those are built on Snowflake. And then the intermediate layer is like any typical solution. We use analytical ready data sets. We use, of course, a lot of Python algorithms, other approaches, do a lot of feature engineering before we can start building any the final models. We use huge suite of AI models depending on the problem which we are solving. Just to give you example, for unsupervised machine learning, we heavily use k-mean clustering and few others. For to measure the channel effectiveness, we use different kind of machine learning algorithms. We also look into the other things, something called as a response curve, and so on. Then we also have algorithm for the content sides. The content tagging is very important there. So that is a huge work. Without tagging, you cannot build any AI. So content tagging is one of the area where we spend a lot of time. And now we are building, more like a to provide next best content for our next interactions. Is it going to be related to product information? The next content, is it going to related to the efficacy of a product, safety of a product, or what exactly we can tailor to have the next interaction with our SCP. And while we are building all these solutions, they are scalable in nature, because we are not building it for one market or one brand. We are building the similar solution for multiple market or multiple brands. Just to keep in mind, because pharma is a heavily regulated industry. So sometime, the regulations rules, for example, in North America might not be similar to the regulation rules in Europe. So we still need to make certain adjustments. So all those solutions scalable in nature, we still need to do a little bit of customization when we go country to country and brand to brand. And then we have proper continuous monitoring in place, just to make sure that we monitor the data drift and the model drift. And if there is any sort of a deviation there, we address it. And finally the insights are being consumed by using certain platform, something called as Actana, and so on. So basically, when as a user, the sales rep, they see this kind of screen on their iPad or laptop every morning, and this is where they see some sort of recommendation. Oh, today you are in this particular location, going to see this doctor. This is what we are recommending. And then they say, okay, I'm okay with this suggestion, and sometimes they also reject it. Okay, I'm not okay with the suggestions. So this will also become a little bit of a feedback mechanism for us. At the moment they accept or decline some of the suggestions, we take that back into our models and retrain them. So this is how we are doing it. So next, I will move to another example, which is coming from GenAI side. Something called we build actually something called as commercial GenAI platform, which is basically really a game changer for marketing campaigns. So it has at a high level three main component. The content creations in a more high quality and personalized way, again using GenAI, and then content translation. So as you know, as I mentioned, Sanofi is a global company. So let's say we have one brand, we are creating content, marketing content at a global level. Then the moment you want to take that to a local market, for example, some countries in Europe or in Asia, for example, in Japan, you need to translate those contents. So we are using the content localizations powered by GenAI. And then we just want to make sure that whatever content we are going to share in the marketing campaign, they are meeting all the medical, legal, and regulatory requirements. So we also have an engine, something called as MLR Companion, which is in-house built engines we have here powered by GenAI. The impact this GenAI platform is creating is incredible. For example, now we are creating these contents 40 times faster, bringing these contents to market 70% more faster, and then also the MLR component, which used to take months for the approval in some cases, now taking days. In some cases, it's taking hours for the approval as well. And we were heavily dependent on external agencies to do these kind of works. But with the help of GenAI platform, now we are reducing the dependencies on those external agencies, and itself you can translate that into a cost saving for the company, so which is significant. So just just to zoom in on the MLR companions. This is, as I said, this is a fully internally developed cutting edge GenAI powered solutions. So on the right hand side, at the moment, for example, the users, they upload any contents, they see a few things very quickly. What are the things which are meet with the legal and regulatory requirements? They get like green checks, for example. If something is not met, then they get like the red mark or the red cross check. And then at this stage, the user basically, they can just review it by this flagged as red and other flags as green. So what we have seen again, and that depending on the complexity of the contents, and it's not like only plain content. Sometimes you have like images, different kind of fonts in those contents, and so on. 50% of the time, the solution is giving you the right answers. A light review process straight away is saying, okay, everything correct, you are good to go. Our target is to go towards 80%, and we are doing a lot of other things on the way. For example, improving the text extractions, improving a little bit of gold standard data to improve the accuracy of the outcome, etc., etc. Right. So this is really like a game changer for the company, and this is again, because this is a more for the machine learning folks, the technical folks. This is how we are doing. So we are, of course, using a set of technologies where possible to get the accurate outcomes. For example, we are using a RAG, vector database, different kind of LLMs, and also a lot of prompt engineering as well. Okay, so the last example here is something I mentioned at the start, is Snackable AI. So we have some kind of a mobile app called as Play, where every person in the company can see the live, near real time live performance of the different market. For example, we have go to market modules where they can see how our certain products are performing in certain geographical regions. They can also look at the trends. They can also look at some of the forecastings. So it has basically helped the company in two ways. One is, of course, boosting productivity across the whole value chains, but also helping us to drive the change for adopting AI with the overall company. I mean, the moment you start giving these tools in the hands of users, you start feeling that they are excited and they want to see more AI innovations in the company, and they want to adopt them quickly. The other thing which I thought I should mention is the responsible AI framework that we are using to build any AI solution within the company. So we have something called as responsible AI at Sanofi for everyone, called as RAISE framework. Under this framework, we have 5 stances. Like, we are accountable to the design, development, and deploying and using the AI systems. So they are fair and ethical, transparent and explainable. They are robust and safe, and they are eco-responsible. So these are the 5 stances. But then we have like controls. How do we implement them? So we have a very strong mechanism to implement them. For example, when we say fair and ethical, so I think the first question we ask, do we understand the potential biases in data? is our AI system has been uh, accounting those things, and what is the plan for unknown biases? Are we putting proper monitoring in place if there's any unknown biases that happen after we deploying the solutions, etc., etc. So sorry, in the interest of time, I'm just rushing, but I think I will stop here and happy to take any questions.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Nitesh, for your excellent presentation. We have one question, and please share your questions in the QA tab. The question is about handling prompt engineering given the non-deterministic nature of LLMs. Any specific techniques help?
Can it, as probably the question on this handling the prompt engineering?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think it's test and learning process. Obviously,
Mhm.
the whenever we are designing this prompts, the business context is important, relevance is important. So be always, one is like technical design, another one is how do we, embed a little bit of business knowledge here when we are designing these prompts. So be embed, we stay very closely connected with the business folks to understand what type of question normally they ask when they come to these sort of solutions. What sort of reasoning do they provide in day-to-day life, and we basically try to create prompts in various directions. For example, they can ask question like, is it equivalent to approved statement, or is it like a statement approved, or what about the statements? So all sometime, all these three different kind of prompts might have the same relevancy, same question. So we embed that sort of a knowledge into our framework.
Perfect. We have another question. Do you work with a data partner to ensure high quality for your MLR engineer, or is it all in-house? What is your strategy and timeline to reach 80% of the accuracy you mentioned?
I think a great question. So it's a
Mhm.
mix of a lot of things. I can just at a high level, I'm again going back to same screen, describe, we can divide this accuracy in four pieces. One is you have a PDF document, let's say, or PPTX file, which you can convert into PDF and upload into a system. The first thing is really like the text extractions, right? If
Mhm.
the text extraction is not accurate enough, it will impact the downstream analytics. So first thing is how we can improve the accuracy of text extractions. So the market available kind of a single or silo tools coming from different vendors are not the perfect. So we have seen, for example, tools from AWS which can extract the information, but up to 70 to 75% accuracy. So we have developed more like in-house mechanism where we can combine the vendors tool with other open source packages to increase the accuracy. So for example, for text extraction, we have gone from 75% to closer to 80%. So that is one area. Second is how do we design our system from the prompting side that also help how we can increase the accuracy. Third is the choice of LLMs. So again, we try to play with a lot of LLMs, and if for solving certain kind of problem, if certain types of LLMs providing more accuracy, and then we stick with that. And the last is basically the preparing the gold standard data, actually. Comparing, for example, that is that normally we try to update after getting the feedback from the user as well. So the moment we start enriching the gold standard data, the accuracy of those models, so the accuracy of the output will also increase. So it's really like a four-fold rather than focusing on one component.
That's correct. All right. And I also have a quick question. Are these solutions cloud-based solutions or on-prem solutions?
Uh, Great question. Obviously, we do a lot of our stuff on cloud, but you
Mhm.
can say that is more like a private instance reserved for
Exactly.
Sanofi, and so that's
Mhm.
why you may say it's a cloud versions of on-prem.
Got it. Got it.